Statewide Council will become more involved in prioritizing state spending for educator professional development. Starting in 2019-21, the Educator Advancement Council replaces the current Network for Quality Teaching and Learning as the primary vehicle for guiding state-funded educator professional development. The Council is required to report to the Legislature by January 15, 2018 on its progress and planning. Senate Bill 182 also changes the biennial adjustment for the current carve-out for the state school funds for the Network of Quality Teaching and Learning. Currently, the adjustment is equal to the growth in the state school fund. The bill changes this to the inflation factor used by state agencies in developing their budgets. The Joint Ways and Means Committee recommends approval of Senate Bill 182 as amended. They did so with a unanimous vote. I just want to say, we know now that new teachers last about 3 years. That's a very expensive thing. We need to do more mentoring. We need to make sure that the local school districts and the local teachers implement programs in their regional areas that make a difference in keeping those people there. And one of the first things to always go is money for staff development and training those teachers. This bill sets up a way of doing that. There was a good amendment that took down the amount that it would grow each year and took it down to where I believe is the right place. We'll reevaluate that in a few years. This is one place where the Chief Education Office has done a great job of bringing the right people together to have a conversation geographically, and all of the different stakeholders were involved in coming up with this. I urge your support.
Question? Senator DeBoer, please.
To the bill. The dropout rate of new teachers is something that is incredible for somebody that spends 5 years in education plus many more. I urge us, in business we do exit interviews, and I would love this bill to have them include some exit interviews and report back to our education committee on the reason that somebody would spend so much time and then leave education, which I think is one of the best professions there is. So thank you.
Further discussion, recognize Senator Laurie Monnes Anderson, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My daughter was a teacher. She taught in Arizona, actually. She did do some teaching here in Oregon before she moved to Arizona. But after 9 years, she had had it. There are so many demands. You have to teach to tests. You have behavioral problems in the classroom. 1 year, she had 4 behavioral health problem students, and her scores were very low. In Arizona, they reward teachers if their test scores are high. Well, the test scores that year were very low, so she didn't get rewarded for that. The tribes actually give them bonuses if they can have their test scores high. The next year, the principal made sure that she had no behavioral health care students or health needs students, and her students exceeded the test scores, very high test scores. So colleagues, we really need to work on helping our teachers because the dropout rate is high. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Roblan, your closing, please.
Very briefly, Senator DeBoer brings up an important issue that needs to be addressed, and I will make sure that that gets carried, and that is exit interviews, finding out what the issues are that create the opportunity and the need that teachers leave. As a principal, I used to do that, and it ranged from a lot of different things, both financial as well as the behavioral issues that were just mentioned. It is an exceedingly difficult job, and most people don't realize how stressful and difficult it is. I think that making sure that we have an ongoing development for those teachers done in a region, not statewide, but those regions identifying the needs that they need for their teachers is really important. I urge your support.
Question now upon third reading and final pass Senate Bill 182B. Those opinion bills to pass, say aye. Those opposed, no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Johnson. Knope. Cruz. Linthicum. Manning. Monnes Anderson. Monroe. Olson. Przonski. Riley. Roblan. Steiner Hayward. Taylor. Thatcher. Thompson. Winters. Barrett Sugar. Beyer. Boquist, Burdick, DeBoer, Denbrough, Devlin, Ferrioli, Frederick, Gelser, Gerard, Hansel, Hass, President Courtney, excused, Sugar, Olson, voting no, Ferrioli, 27 aye votes.
Bill 182B, having received council majority, is declared passed. Clerk reads the bill.
Senate Bill 505, relating to recording of grand jury proceedings and declaring emergency.